Hey everybody, welcome. Episode 3. You guys ready? It's time for me to spill the beans. Welcome to Z-Wings Workshop. Well, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of drawing programs, so what I do use though is TAD, and that's called Tony's Abnormal Drawings. So let me show you what we got going on here. Now, if you're looking at this picture, this is kind of the front nose of the car. And if you look really closely, yeah, the secret is race car. So we're going to do a number 11 into this pocket. We're going to X out the headlights. And then I might get like a scoop or something. This might either be flat or a scoop. Now we're going to do like a cool little Buick license plate and then a trim. Now, I know NASCAR went, Buicks were in NASCAR in 67. I've never seen anything for a 66. But this is almost going to be kind of like an old Trans Am style, 70s, even like a rally car, something like that. It's not really paying homage to NASCAR. It's really just kind of paying homage to my love of racing, my significance in the number 11, and the Buick that I had. So I think it's going to give it that extra little flavor that's just going to make this thing even cooler than I originally designed. So let me show you what's going on. And no, this is not an advertisement for coffee. We're trying to figure out the lights here. I'm trying to come up with some ideas. So we have my awesome aluminum roll flashing, the stuff that I love, and it's really cool. And we are going to use that as a backer reflective lens behind the light. Now you can see what I did here. This was from a coffee can here. This actually fits really good over that trim. So that, I might actually do something like this, and then I could pop one of the LED strips. They're about maybe 1.5 inches long, and it's just got 3 lights, and it'll just shoot down on it. Now, for the lights now too, I got some electrical tape on plexiglass. The back side of the plexiglass has been sanded to with 80 grit sandpaper, and that gives it that frosted look. So imagine kind of this in like so, and then you're going to have some lights behind it to light up that whole pocket. I think that's probably going to work out really good. So that is plan. That is the plan for right now. To hold these things in, I just used some silicone and clear silicone, and it's doing its thing. This one needed a little weight on it, so I put a little weight on it. For the marker lights, I did the same thing. Just painted with some orange paint and frosted the back of it. So that way it, it'll be orange. Now, here's the dilemma. As you can see, yeah, I've got lettering. And this is lettering that goes to the hood of the car. Now, I can drill into the concrete and do it. The problem is, it's very risky. You could spall and snap the concrete. It could get really messy, and the nose is really nice and clean on it, so I almost don't want to do that. The other option is I could cut these studs off and just glue it, but they're very thin. I hate to cut the studs because they're in great condition. So there is another option I do have that I'm probably just going to end up doing in the meantime, and I need a license plate for this thing. So these lettering. And I have, all the way back over here, a cool Buick hubcap logo. And yeah, maybe that with the Buick, make like a custom little plate out of it. And that'll just sit on the actual license plate. So that's probably what's going to end up doing. If you think I should try this, or if you think I should even cut it and glue it, leave me a comment. But I don't know. To me, it's risky, and I don't know if I want to do it. All right, we'll start with the easy stuff first. I actually found this little scooper. It was from the Buick carburetor when I redid it, and just the extra part of a kit I had. It works out pretty good. It's actually set into a coffee cup lid. That's what you see. It's just super glued, and then I caulked it into the ring. So now it's basically just kind of drying, doing its thing. I'm going to add probably a little pipe in the middle. So it kind of looks like it's connected. Eventually, when I get it down to the form, we'll figure out exactly where it's got to go. I got the headlights basically ready to go. both of them. Then I started working on the other easy part, which is the license plate. This material, I got a piece over here. I actually got this when we were working on the City Hall in Chicago. And it's just aluminum cladded panel, double-sided, and then there's a piece of masonite in the middle. And it's really stiff and firm. And I've got it in the silver color. I've got it in like a charcoal gray color too. But we had so much extra scraps, especially when you're going around doors. There was just these huge big sheets of, door size. So I was able to get them on the job site, and I still got a bunch. I'm using actually some of it for my simulator. Now, too, we've got the Buick letters. So I'm going to get them lined up. We're going to actually put them in the plate here like so. And I think I already said that this is just kind of caulked in. The tape is just holding it until the caulk dries. These I'm going to drill some holes, and we're going to mount them from the back. To place the lettering, I kind of went somewhat the easy route, at least I'm thinking it's going to be. I just stuffed them into some foam. I'm going to pull every letter out now. Now all the holes are exposed. Then I'm going to take some tape. I marked lines for the center. And now I'm just going to find my holes. Found the holes. I had a little issue there, so I just added some tape. No big deal. You can see this line. This is the edge of the K. This is the edge of the B. Again, this was on the hood, or the letters, I should say, were originally from the hood, so there is a little bit of a taper fan as far as the font goes, but it's fine. We're just going to take this tape now and line it up with that center line. Everything's lining up pretty good. You can see the fanning pattern of some of these letters, because the way they were set up. And this U may actually be a little bent, but it's going to work fine. We'll just, I'll put the little studs on them. This way, I'm not destroying them. I kind of feel better about that. And yeah, I'll make a nice little license plate. It did break. Damn you. Sorry, had to do it. And it turned out pretty good. If it looks crooked to you, it ain't me. It's you. I had to do it again, sorry. Now that we've moved on with the license plate, we are going to the lights now. And I already did this one. I've got basically 2-way tape around the ring. I'm using, this is glazing tape. And I'm going to tape it around the ring, kind of like what I did the other side. You peel it back, and then you'll kind of be able to kind of get it in there. And that's what we're going to do. Now, the other thing, too, is I am going to use the coffee cups. I actually kind of like them. Or the coffee containers with the lids and everything. They're just going to get caulked in, and the reflective panel is going to work out really good. And then we're going to go to the lights. And I've taken apart the board here. You can see there is a night sensor, and then there's a motion sensor. And when it's dark out, you walk by it, and it should activate them. Now, each one of these little strips are going to get mounted into the top here, like that. And that should do what we need it to do. Now, most likely, I'm probably going to just keep using the caulk. It's either caulk or hot glue. Hot glue is faster, but the caulk works just as good, too. With the foam wrapped around the ring, it just kind of slides right into place. And because it's a double-sided sticky back, it's in there and should be good. And it's actually glazing tape, so it's weather resistant. I got my little soldering gun out, and I already took apart one of these lights, and let's go show you what we did on this side. So basically, there's that same module. I basically extended the wires on both ends, and it kind of comes down to this little guy right here, which is the 3 LEDs. Now, my thought is I'm going to try and get it in here and glue it in here, so then it fits into that slot where the coffee can is. You can kind of see that, and then the lens should go over. My plan is to actually have this glued in to the bottom of the headlight. So, but I don't want to glue it in just yet because I need to wash the headlights. So, but I'm going to try and figure out exactly where this is going to go, and then I'm going to try and do some loom and kind of wire this thing to the board, this board. Then the other thought was I'll take some magnets and I'll just stick them right up underneath here. So that way you'll never really see them. As you're walking by the unit, it should pick up maybe a foot traffic, and it should turn on the lights. and put one on each side, leave a little slack so I could get them out, because the battery pack pops off the back, and there's 3 batteries on each. So that is the game plan. Now I need to do 2 of them, so it actually works out. We're going to have one for each side, easy peasy. The other one's going to be mounted to the bumper, and I'm going to keep everything, including the little light pockets, to the bumper. So let me wire this up first to the board and get everything worked out, and we'll turn it on. We'll see what it looks like. It's so spooky. They're not super bright. They're not going to be in your face, which is kind of why I like it. But yeah, position looks good. Reflectors look awesome. You know, they got nice equal light, even and equal. We're gonna step back here. You can see a little bit more. The motion sensor worked. They didn't turn on until I got close to it, and I just had to fix them now. But at least positioning is good. So basically, I gotta rinse and repeat what I did with the wiring. Hopefully, I have enough wire and loom and all that good stuff, and we'll tuck that into the bumper. But I need to make the actual light pockets. So we're going to do the light pockets next, and I'm going to get this affixed. Wires are routed. I actually used some hot glue, zip ties. I don't know. It probably won't work because it's not dark in here. There it goes. All right, they're on. Maybe you can tell. And they're in there. And they work pretty good. So, as you can see, we have headlights. I always say if you can see. Well, you can see we got a little vent in there. That was actually an old speaker grill. We got another headlight. Now we have an empty space. What do we put in that empty space? Well, let me take you all the way over here, and you will see. This is how I do some transfers. So I looked and found the right number. I'm not a Denny Hamlin fan, but I'll be honest with you. That's the font that I run for my number. So take a little piece of tape. That's the size I want. ZTV is a computer after all. Then we take it over here, and then here's our circle, and then we're just going to line it up and then trace it. But we are also going to do a rubbing on the back side of it, and then we could transfer it over after we trace it. I'll show you that in a minute. This is kind of how I do my stencils. When you do not have a CNC machine or a laser burner, which I'm eventually like to get one, you got to do what you got to do. But this works out. You'll see in a sec. Trimmed, scribbled, laid over, centered up. I did the highlights kind of like what I did there. And yeah, that's it. She works. Now we're going to use a straight edge, and I'm going to cut out all these little pieces with the straight edge. I've always said, doesn't matter how you mark it, doesn't matter how you measure it, it's with the cut that matters. So we're going to go through and give this thing a slice, peel off the 11, and I think we're going to paint it with some white. I don't know, probably white. Now it's most likely going to run, and I'll probably have to do it all over again, but whatever. Well, they're made and put in. I'd love to show you the backside, but yeah, I'm not gonna. So they're all right. Not too great. I'm trying to get the thing to light up right now, but it must be just too bright in here. And there they go. They're on now. Just was too bright in here. Let's see if we can do a long shot here. There you go. Yeah, I like it. And the motion sensors work. Let me back it out a little bit. And they look awesome. So I guess the lights are done. It doesn't want to focus. Now the splitter. And the 11 needs to be cleaned up because I don't know if you can see it. It's a bit streaky. Well, I moved it to the back side of the workbench here. I spent a little time cleaning up the 11. And in the process, it kind of washed away a little bit. And I kind of like the rusticy, washed away kind of a look to it. It kind of adds to it. So we're leaving it. Now the lighting too, everything's good. We just saw from the last video. And I had mentioned it's splitter time. So I found a piece of masonite. And here's the Masonite. Now I'm not going full width on it. I'm kind of going to do one of these deals. I probably should back out the camera more, but I've got some marks on it that I'm going to take out. We're going to curve the ends. This might be too wide, so I may actually shrink it down a little bit. We're going to fit it up, and then we'll see what we can do. The other thing, too, is mounting it. I'm probably just going to make some angle brackets that are going to get screwed to the plywood, and they'll come down, and then they'll be on an angle. And then I'm thinking we're just going to put some, maybe some self-tappers in here. I thought even rivets, something, but we're going to actually just paint this all black. And, yeah, that should be it. And that is the last piece that really needs to be done before everything gets cleaned up and then finally gets all put together. And then we can mount it to the wall. The other thing, too, is I went through. This has finally been cured for 7 days. So I took some 3000 grit sandpaper, the diamond hone bits, and I went over it real good. Gave it kind of a nice little glossy, shiny. You could kind of see a little bit of a shine happening there. And then I threw some sealer on it. Just using a basic granite stone enhancer. And you don't need anything fancy. It's not like you're going to be cutting or prepping food on it. But yeah, it's got a great rusty, orange, reddish kind of a color to it. And I totally dig it. So we're going to get on into the splitter, get that thing made and paint it up. And that'll be next. I didn't go too crazy with it. But believe it or not, I found 8 equal matching screws. And yeah, it's going to work. So we're good there. The brackets, they kind of just fold right in. I don't know if you can see this, and then they'll just get screwed right to the back of the form. Now those got to go in for paint. Here are the screws that I had purchased. They were white, so they needed a little black paint. These are actually cabinet screws. I've used them in the past. They got a great shear strength. And what do I got there? 10 of them. Probably all 10 of them are going to go on there. They're rated about 100 pounds a piece for shear strength. So that's about 1,000 pounds. I have no problems with this thing. This thing is not going to fall off the wall. So we're going to paint that. And then I can start cleaning up this bumper. I know I got to get in here and kind of trim this a little bit. And then actually give it like a clean. Go over it with some steel wool. Just kind of polish it up, get the inside done too, so that way I could get the lights firmly mounted. These marker lights are going to get mounted to the bumper and stay on the bumper. Obviously, these lights are already mounted to the back panel, but I still gotta, I gotta clean up everything. And then we're basically ready to go. Once all the paint's dry, we can start installing this guy on the wall. I am so excited. Well, there you have it. There's a splitter. It's got 1 coat of paint on it. I'll probably throw a couple more on there just to, that's the back side. And obviously that needs another coat. And it's going to do the job nicely. I didn't want to go crazy either. That way, if you bump into it or something, it's not going to kill you. It's just a piece of masonite. So, we're going to let this dry. I got to clean up the parts, which I'm not going to put on camera. And next time we're going to pick this job up, we're going to be mounting it to the wall upstairs. So you'll see that right now. I lied. Threw a little Neverdoll on some of these parts and pieces. Just everything's air drying right now. And you can see how nice and shiny the bumper was able to get. And the grill looks really awesome. The chin spoiler is kind of just doing its thing, drying away. This guy has been sealed, that's all dry. So yeah, now for sure, next time, it's going to be install time. And here, you wanted to see them. They're just basically triangles. I just painted them black. That's some birch, some 1/4 inch, and it's mainly just glue and a bunch of just tape. The tape is mainly there just to keep the light from splashing out. And if I had like Gorilla Tape or duct tape, I would use that instead, but this is just fine. I'm going to eventually use some double-sided tape on these faces, and once the bumper gets done, it should just stick to the inside. Shouldn't be a problem. And yeah, still debating on what to do with these as far as mounting them goes. It's either going to get mounted to the back of the light, or I may actually mount it into the form here with some hot glue, or who knows. I didn't bring out macaroni. Here's the little grill. I want to get in here too and just a little bit more sanding, just to clean it up a little bit. Although the fact that it's a little nasty looking doesn't bother me either. Here's the other part of the wiring. You can just see that just cables are both extended. This is going to be obviously for the bumper, and here is the other one for the headlights. So yes, now for sure, next time we see this, I will be upstairs. We are going to be doing our thing. And as promised, here we are. It's installed day. The wall behind me with the picture, hopefully you can see it because I can't see what I'm filming. That's where it's going to go. It's going to go basically directly underneath that. Now I'm going to have to take the picture and recenter it. I may even drop it a little bit. I've got everything here laid out. The only thing that's not up here is the concrete. Now you can already see I've got some holes drilled. That should line up already with the studs because I've already did that that kind of work. Splitter, somewhat dry. Everything else is kind of dry. I'm going to grab a towel and kind of wipe everything down as I'm going. But you can see I've got all the screws, hardware I need. I got the extra drill with a bit if I need it. That's going to be for the plate over there. This little guy, that's the nut for the bottom of, or for the top of the grill. Let's see, then we're going to come up here. Now overall, I can't remember exactly what the width of this wall is, but overall the unit is 6 foot, 1/4 inch. So 3 foot, we're going to center it up. We're going to go 3 1/8, 3 foot, 1/8 on either side, and that's going to be where it's at. Before I even get ready to mount the plate, I am going to move the picture. And then as far as height goes, the concrete is about 2 inches thick. The whole unit overall, including the splitter, is about 22 inches tall. So I'm going to go basically 26 inches off this vent. And that's going to put you right around here. I don't exactly remember the height of the car, but it should be good. It's, you know, 30, 32 inches or so as far as the height goes. But yeah, I'm going to put you guys on the stand now. And I got my level right here. You're going to see me doing the marks. Hopefully I did all my math properly and all the screw holes are going to line up just where they need to be on the studs. I'm going to get 8 nice big thick screws into here. And yeah. Now, after I get the base going, then it's going to be the concrete. Concrete's still in the basement. I'm going to bring it up. You're going to notice I do not mount the concrete as far as mechanically or there's not going to be any glue. There's not going to be any screws into it. It's just going to be held down by gravity. Once I go to put the trim rings in, it's going to basically lock it to where you're never going to have to worry about it coming off the wall. And obviously gravity is going to keep it flat and down. So there we go. On the stand you go, and you guys can watch me work. Well, I did everything so far except for the little Buick license plate, and I'll explain that in a second here. as you can see, we're a little bit far off the wall here, and it's kind of colliding with our little thing. So I might have to grab the grinder. I can either bring this top piece back downstairs, or I can just grab the grinder and make a huge mess up here. I'm probably going to make a huge mess up here. And then that way at least I could get this bumper put back in. I might even try to go chip, chip, chip and see if I can just knock it. But that's kind of risky. So we're not going to do that. Otherwise, could it have been a little lower? You know, it's been a while since I've had my car, but I think that's probably around where it was. I don't know. Let's stand back and show you what I got going on. I think it looks friggin' awesome. Very happy. The other thing too is my glue did not work on the number 11 plate. It's a little twisted. And if you notice too, I was having a little hard time trying to get this guy in. So it's kind of tight. This thing is obviously hitting something back there. I'm gonna have to try and see if I can put something back there just to kind of hold it up against the deal. But otherwise, yeah guys, it worked out. My vision has came. Let's kill the lights. Take another step back. Now, I got to do something with this handrail because it is ugly. But that ain't. And yeah, race car. The little chin spoiler turned out really good. Gives it that extra little flare. It's, yeah, for the most part, pretty centered. And yeah, you just saw the lights automatically go off. They're on a motion sensor. And basically, when you walk by them, if you get your foot under there, which I did, everything turns back on. So yeah, we're going to tidy it up, and that'll be it. I am friggin' stoked. This thing looks awesome. So now I got to finish up the rest of the house. Now you might be asking me, what do you think I would have done differently? For starters, I would have done a different casting. I wouldn't have used great stuff. That's really about it. Everything else I kind of went just about as planned. And if I had 3D printers and stuff, I could have made the light pockets a little bit fancier. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I could have done a lot differently if I had the light pockets. Sorry, I keep turning my head because I'm looking at it. It looks pretty friggin' awesome. So yes, I got to get the stupid. Let's see if my hand will activate. There we go. We'll have to see if I could get. You know, I'm gonna come up here and make a mess. If you see this on Instagram, you know, give me a follow over here. I appreciate it. But thanks again. Any questions or any comments, please leave them. But yeah, thanks again for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you inspired somebody to do some cool stuff. And yeah, thanks again. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.